How's it going? Did you drive here from Melbourne? Wow. That's so cool. Thanks, everybody. I just came from Port Fairy today, and we were driving down the road, and a tree blew over in the middle of the road, and we were flying so fast, and you couldn't get around the tree. And I sent David, a picture of where we were, and I didn't think we were going to make it. And then we rerouted and somehow made it here to Ararat, so I'm happy to be here. That tree was crazy. I got out and tried to move it. Then Malcolm helped me, and we still couldn't move it. Two of us. There was nothing we could do, and there was no way to get around it. It was crazy. What are the odds of that in Australia? The tree. It's normal, right?
50 to 1.
Hey, you bought a t-shirt. Where'd you get it? Oh, you didn't get it here yet. Okay, I got you. Because he's got them, and I didn't know if you bought it and changed into it. Oh, you did say that. I can't see your face, but I'm trying to. Thank you. No, I want to see your face. From the top of her head to the soles of her feet, I love her with all of my heart. She reminds me of home when I'm drifting away. I feel her even when we're apart. When her hair spills on down and her eyes light the sky, and I can stare at the stars so bright. I won't stop till I'm home. I'll be traveling for days. I'll sleep under the moon tonight, and I'll walk Flinders Lane with my hat and my cane till I'm old and I'm in her embrace. As the sun slowly sets, I remember her eyes and her wardrobe a beautiful lace. When the sky is on fire and there hasn't been a drop of rain for days, just a swagman I am, with an old horse and tow, on a sun-baked trail I'll blaze. And from Darwin to Perth, to the end of the earth, or wherever the wind may blow, from the soles of her feet to the top of her head, she'll be with me wherever I go. And from Cook Town to Perth, to the end of the earth, the wind can't tear us apart. From the top of her head to the soles of her feet, I love her with all of my heart. Well, we found a magic carpet hidden in the garage. When I first saw it, I thought it was a mirage. It was folded up, all tight like a pocket knife. Some folks say when you're dead, but I had other thoughts spinning in my head, and I believe that carpet was able to visit the afterlife. We saw moms and sisters and cousins and dads and all our best friends and favorite lads, and even mean old bullies that we all used to fear. We didn't want to tell other folks what we found, 'cause there was only so many rides going around, and a month of Sundays quickly disappeared. Take out your magic carpet, watch as it all unfurls. The wind will start blowing you sideways. Float on up to the afterworld. Well, Well, our best friend Steve, he lost his dad, and he walked around looking lonely and sad. We thought for a while he didn't want to live this life. So we decided to cheer him up for a bit and take him out for a special lift way up yonder to those wondrous heavenly lights. Well, man, you should have seen his face when he saw us pawn that special place. He said, "Now that I'm with you, Dad, I'm never gonna leave." And his dad said, "Son, I missed you too, and I'm gonna hug the lonely out of you, but you still gotta help some folks out down below." Well, they hugged each other and they started to cry, and soon it was time to say goodbye. And his dad said, "It'll be even sweeter when you come back to stay. Take out your magic carpet, watch as it all unfurls. The wind will start blowing you sideways. Float on up to the afterworld. Take out your magic carpet, stretch out and let it glide. Go find the ones you've been missing. You'll have a heck of a ride. Well, when we got back, there was quite a crowd that had started gathering all around, and somehow the word got out about our magic rug. They all wanted a piece of it, and they began pulling it bit by bit, and sooner or later, everyone started to tug. Well, they tore it apart in 1,000 pieces, so no more. But they tore it apart in 1,000 pieces, so no more visits for nephews or nieces or anybody else that was needing the way to be shown. Like all good things that start out magic, sometimes they can end up kind of tragic. And now we'll just have to wait to see the unknown. Take out your magic carpet, watch as it all unfurls. The wind will start blowing you sideways. Float on up to the afterworld. Take out your magic carpet, stretch out and let it glide. Go find the ones you've been missing, and you'll have a heck of a ride. Take out your magic carpet. I had a little snafu there in the middle of it. Did you notice it? I know. What do you see in him? Is it the same you saw in me? Is your head alright? Did you bump into a tree? Now I can't profess to see the way you see. Maybe I don't love you, I just love a mystery. Have you lost your mind? That's alright by me. Is it the bar stool talking? Did the whiskey set you free? I sent an SOS for the whole wide world to see. Maybe I don't love you, I just love a mystery. Now I've played darts with tender hearts, and I've had mine busted too. But your wrecked vision has got me wishing for glasses not so blue. Just stand inside my shoes, and darling, you will see. Maybe I don't love you, I just love a mystery. Now did you get my calls? I left you 2 or 3. Are you going deaf or just ignoring me? I left my key at the desk. It's checkout time for me. Maybe I don't love you, I just love a mystery. Now I've played darts with tender hearts, and I've had mine busted too. But your wrecked vision has got me wishing for glasses not so blue. Just stand inside my shoes, darling, you will see. Maybe I don't love you, I just love a mystery. Now the time has come to say our last goodbye. Is that a storm a-coming? I was hoping for blue sky. Well, I must confess, you'll be in my memory. Maybe I don't love you, I just love a mystery. Maybe I don't love you, I just love a mystery. Thanks so much, man. What a cool room. I brought these really neat posters. I'll show you it. There is one. Oh yeah, would you hand me a poster and a record? got this new record out. Thank you. So these posters, thanks. I remember you now. These posters are hand screen printed and they're numbered. And there was only 99 made. And he kept screwing up the spelling of Ararat. And I got him to get it right. I had to get him to keep doing it over and over and over. And so, anyways, I'm glad that I brought these, because if I didn't, Ararat wouldn't have been included. And what he did was he made it Ararat right there. And March, is today March 11th? Yes, it is. And look at that. So it says vintage 2026 Poltz. One spray lifts the whole room. Nice. And I got a new record out, and the record's called Joyride. Got it on CD and vinyl. And I'm going to do the first track. This is called If It Bleeds, It Leads. I can never watch the news with you because you yell back. You scream like they can hear you in the television set. What am I to do when all you're doing is a yelling at the top of your lungs? You're even scaring all the pets. You're scaring all the pets. One time I remember when you went and grabbed your pistol. You blew a hole right through the brand new lounge room television. I had to duck and cover, then I rose and slowly peeked out. Thank God you have good aim and that you shoot with such precision. You shoot with such precision. We're all adrift on a sea of slime. We're wandering around just wasting our time. Maybe one day we'll all join together. We'll find some buried treasure and we'll have some playtime. The neighbors called the cops and then they pounded on the doorbell. They had the SWAT team with them and they weren't just there to schmooze. I had to do the sidestep when the tank came through the front door. I said, hey Ma, would you look at me? I'm making the news. Making them. One thing I can tell you that I'm pretty sure is certain. They must sell advertising to bring in the proceeds. They don't want you to flip the switch or even close the curtains. They keep us hypnotized, and if it bleeds, it leads. So that's track one. This is track two. It's called Petrichor. Petrichor means it's the scent after the rain stops. And I love that word, Petrichor. Petrichor. So this is track two. Smelling perfume from the dirt, rub it on, what could it hurt? It's a smell that we all love, set right down from my above. My wife says, bottle it up, see the gold coins fill our cup. Women all around the world are smelling like a red dirt girl. Petrichor is happening right now. Happens every time the rain comes down. See the steam rise up right on the ground. Petrichor is happening right now. Saw my garden parched and dry, look up to the clear blue sky. Prayed all night for one good cloud, make the sweet rain come on down. Thirsty roots, I look at me, it's almost like they can see. Healing drops fall from the sky, it starts to rain, I start to cry. Petrichor is happening right now. Happens every time the rain comes down. See the steam rise up right off the ground. Petrichor is happening right now. The heavens give me my lifeblood. When it's done, I'm in the mud. Watch the cracked earth, soak it in, see my supper sprout again. Now you know just what it is. It's a gift that heaven gives. Grows the flowers and the weeds, blessings from the thirsty seeds. Petrichor is happening right now. Happens every time the rain comes down. See the steam rise up right off the ground. Petrichor is happening. Petrichor is happening right. Petrichor is happening right. Yeah. So that was track 1. No, that was track 2, Petrichor. This is track 4. We'll go a little bit out of sync here. This is the title track of the record. So this is called Joyride. You're listening to Steve Poltz live in Ararat. Ararat. Victoria. Not New South Wales. Ararat. Ararat. Sometimes the wind's so dry in Ararat. Sometimes you cross the street with a full moon and a black cat. Your lips are parched, you cannot find an open bar. So you make your own whiskey in an underground still in your backyard. Over in Ararat, Ararat, Ararat. There was a murder on a Friday night. It was the 13th. The coppers never came till the next day. The body was gone. They hid it in Ararat, Ararat, Ararat. You best not cross the county line in Ararat. Unless you got a suitcase full of counterfeit bills in Ararat. We're howling at the moon tonight in Ararat. David Nicholson, he's the town drug dealer. David Nicholson, he runs an illegal meth lab down in Ararat. Ararat, A-R-A-R-I-T. A-R-A-R-I-T. Come and visit us in Ararat. Presented to you by the Ararat Chamber of Commerce. Sorry. I was going to be doing that other song. And then that song appeared. It was like, hey, I'm here, sing me. And then we'll never hear that song again, which is a drag, but it's cool. That would be a good song. Ararat needs its own. I'm going to write it. You're welcome to come and visit anytime in Ararat. And the bridge will go, the fucking thing's fucking fucked. The fucking thing's fucking fucked, mate. The fucking thing's fucking fucked. And everything's broken. That would be so cool. That would make me want to come here. I don't know what it would do to other people, but if I heard that song, I would be like, I have to go to Ararat. I really would. I like things that are a little sideways. That's just how it goes. Okay, so we're going to do the title track of Steve Poltz's new record, and this is a song called Joyride. Heartaches and hassles and beaches and old sandcastles, missed flights and phone calls, wandering some hotel halls, rental cars, lost keys, freakouts, weak knees, bad moods and dumb fights, and bathtubs, candlelights, snow cones, dance halls, cracker jacks, baseball, train tracks, sunsets, sure things and bad bets, haircuts and pedal boards and capos and old chords and delays and car wrecks and boring old sound checks, half price menus, haunted venues, merch sales, riders, long drives, overnighters, dangerous weather, old hats with feathers, and thrift stores and airports, and bounce checks and passports, free hugs, no shrugs, wrong drugs, bed bugs, smiles, laughter, for here ever after. As long as I'm with you, there's nothing we can't do. I look for the best rhyme, I'm here for your lifetime. It's a slow ride as we glide. It's a joyride. That's a really pretty song. I'm glad I wrote it. A song I did earlier tonight where I said, and from Coketown to Perth to the end of the earth. That's a song I wrote a while back, and I put it out on a record that I recorded in Perth. And the record is called Noiny Noiny Noin. It is. And it's spelled Noineen, Noinyn, Noiny Noiny Noin. And the guy who produced the record is here tonight. Where's Malcolm Clark? Where is he? What's that? Oh, come here for a sec. So my buddy Malcolm Clark is tour managing me on this run. And he produced the record, Noiny Noiny Noin. And it's a double record. And I love him a lot. And he was in a band from WA. That stands for West Australia. And the band was called the Sleepy Jackson. Yeah. And so he produced my record, and he's been driving me so I don't get in a wreck. So I want to do another song off Noiny Noiny Noin. And the first one I did that you heard where I go, and from Cooktown to Perth to the end of the earth. That's such a pretty song. It's called From the Top of Her Head. This one is called Slovenia Breeze. And I just love this song, and I wrote it when I was in Ljubljana, Slovenia. And then I showed up in Perth, and Malcolm produced the record. So, will you sing it with me? Dude, that would be great. Why not? You stand on this side. Don't stand on that nice poster. Should we move it? That poster? Because you're going to back up. Those are collector's items. Thank you, my love. You are like so good. What is your name again? Tracy. I wish you'd follow me all around the world, Tracy. If you would follow me all around the world, I promise I'd treat you right. I'd make you Vegemite sandwiches. I'd toast the bread and put on a lot of butter just to cut the taste of the Vegemite and makes it taste better. Tracy. I'd put peppermint lotion on your beautiful toes. I'd plant a garden and I'd cut you off a rose. I'd put in some water. You and me, our love life gets harder every day. When I see you show up at my shows, Tracy, I'm gonna call the cops and get a restraining order. I'm gonna call the cops and get a restraining order. I'm gonna call the cops on myself. Can we record that one now? You reckon we can? Mel teaches me a lot of cool Australian words. One of them is torch. I was like, do you have a flashlight? He goes, no, but I have a torch. It's cool. And they taught me, what else did you teach me? Hood. Bonnet, yeah, bonnet. Windscreen. Windshield, right? Windshield. Yeah. French fries. He taught me French fries and gravy. Chips. No, he told me ask for minge and chips and gravy. What does that mean? I don't know what it means. That's what he told me. When the server comes up, he said chips are minges. Ask for minges and gravy. No, he did not say that. Come back up. Okay. You're lovely. I could while away the hours in the light of higher powers. I try hard not to complain, just to sing a soft refrain. I know it's days like these for sure make me feel like I am pure. Let the wind blow back your hair. Where this train goes, I don't care. I feel like I'm hypnotized. Baby, I just realized this moment I could freeze in this Slovenian breeze. There's a castle on the hill, I can hear them ring a bell. The fighting's done, but you could see there's lots of scars left still to heal. I wish that days like these could last and never fade into the past. Let the wind blow back your hair. Where this train goes, I don't care. I feel like I'm hypnotized. Maybe I just realized moment I could freeze in this Slovenia breeze. The lake is calling from afar. Hitch a ride in some strange car. Broken English can't be wrong. When it's mixed in with the song, I know it's days like these for sure. Make me feel like I am pure. Let the wind blow back your hair. Where this train goes, I don't care. I feel like I'm hypnotized. Maybe I just realized this moment I could freeze in this Slovenia breeze. Slovenia breeze. Slovenia breeze. Slovenia breeze. Clacky. Oh, you guys, I just want to tell you all that I love you. I love Malcolm. I'm in love with the world. I really am. I'm so lucky. Oh, there you are. I got to hug you in the middle of the street in Port Fairy. You are so gorgeous. That was so fun that we ran into you out of the blue. I know, and I love you. I love you. Hey, you guys, I'm going to just do one more song, take a quick break, and then come back and play a full other set, allow you to fill up your glasses with lots of beer and whiskey and rum or water, whatever it is, wine. Yeah. And we can have a little chat. And then afterwards, I'll be out there and we could take a picture together or whatever you want. I brought all kinds of trinkets and whatnot, and I've got to sell them all before I go home because I don't have the weight allowance on Qantas, and those guys are dickheads. You're even a quarter of a pound over or whatever you guys call it over here, kilometers or something. It's all right. Why do I feel like I'm stoned? I don't know why, but I do. Hey! I just am having so much fun. Would you do me a favor? Would you mind? I don't know. It's a lot to ask. Maybe someone will hold the words. I just wrote this song yesterday. Is it too much to ask you? I would love that if you did. You don't mind? Oh, good. I love you. Okay, come over here, please. Yeah. And then I'll move this down here because I'm going to sing it sitting down. And I just wrote this last night with Clocky. And if you stand on this side, that'd be cool. Okay, so what you'll do is you will scroll. If you can see it, okay. I need glasses to read because I'm 66. Okay. Yes, well done. You guys, okay, this is called The Overdose. Spoiler alert, and then parentheses, spoiler alert, he lives. Just so you don't get too bummed out. Okay, and so what is your name? Una? Nuna. Yuna, yeah, Yuna. It was so fun when I met you the other day. You are a blessing to the planet. No, you really are. Look at you. When you smile, your whole face smiles. And that's what the world needs. You know. Thank you. Okay, here goes. Ouch, I just bashed these glasses into my face. Now I'm going to sue you. I didn't mean it, you know. Okay. You guys, you're the first to hear this song. It may never get played again. We got some historical inaccuracies. That's what happens when you don't see the forest for the trees. You wind up staring at the heavens on your back. No stars in the sky and everything turns black. So you ask the vampire for a couple cups of blood. He keeps it in the cupboard over there by the mud. You pour that blood into... Okay, I gotta listen to it once because I almost forgot it. And I'll have it down. It's just I gotta listen to that one part and I'll have it. Okay, here goes. You know what I mean, Una? You know. Okay, cool. I got it. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I really have to do this song because... Okay. Oh, we got some historical in I want to just hear that verse. Okay. You wind up staring at the heavens on your back, no stars in the sky, and everything turns black. So you ask a vampire for a couple cups of blood. He keeps it in the cupboard over there by the mud. There, I got it. Okay, over there by the mud. It goes up. Yeah, I'm going to start again from the top. We've got all night. We got some historical inaccuracies. That's what happens when you don't see the forest for the trees. You wind up staring at the heavens on your back. No stars in the sky and everything turns black. So you ask a vampire for a couple cups of blood. He keeps it in the cupboard over there by the mud. And you pour that blood into your vein, but it never lights a match and it starts to rain. Oh, we got some historical inaccuracies. That's what happens when you don't see the forest for the trees. You wind up staring at the heavens on your back. No stars in the sky and everything turns black. So you ask your ma for a half a cup of soap, but she's given up on you and she just says nope. And it's so humid in the summer and you can't break free, and you never took down that Christmas tree. Security in the pharmacy. Could we get a cleanup on aisle 3 and a price check on blood? Ah la da 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 da. You wind up staring at the heavens on your back. No stars in the sky and everything turns black. So you're calling on a stranger and you're looking for some hope, but you never find it there. He's only got bad dope. And everyone you see is giving you a fresh stare, and you're halfway to heaven in your underwear. But you wake up from your journey and they're all around you. You've been a naughty boy, but we'll help you get through. You ask for grace and you toss it all about, and the storm clouds pass. Now the sun's peeking out. Oh, we got some historical inaccuracies. That's what happens when you don't see the forest for the trees. You wind up staring at the heavens on your back. Now there's stars in the sky and everything come back. That was it. Will you sing the last chorus with me, Nina? Yeah, okay. Oh, I do. No, it's going to be so beautiful. Just lean closer to the mic and we'll do it together. Oh, we got some historical inaccuracies. That's what happens when you don't see the forest for the trees. You wind up staring at the heavens on your back. No stars in the sky and everything has come back. See, he lived. You just made my night. God bless her. She is so cool. You know what just happened too that's really neat? I want to say something to you guys from the bottom of my heart. If you create or sing every day it gives you youth juices. I believe this because you get a little nervous in your spine. It secretes juices. I know because I have my doctorate in spine secretion juices. And, oh, you're laughing now, huh? Wait till I give you an exam on the break. Anyways, Una, that was so beautiful having you sing on that. And the cool thing about that song is the guy who ODs lives and he starts to find a little bit of grace and turns his life around. I wrote that last night with Malcolm whilst sitting in a jacuzzi in Port Fairy at these people's house. Okay, so that's the end of set one. I will come back and play a whole nother set too. And I can't wait to play songs. And if you have a special request of a song I wrote and you really want to hear it, let me know on the break. And once again, I want to thank David Nicholson. You know what he does. I want to thank him for having me here. All right, we'll see you in 15.
Thanks, Dave.
I only had 1 minute left on my calling card. I was halfway around the world and it was raining really hard. And I only had a couple of aspirin and a half a can of beer. So I swallowed it down for courage, but it was still pretty hard to hear. 'Cause I only had 3 words that I wanted to tell you, but it would be easier if you were here and I could smell you. Words are falling, I don't know. They drift, they pass, they melt like snow. I know I may be a flake. I'll scrape my knees and make mistakes. I may lose, but mostly win. Sometimes I get soaked in sin, but I'll fall right back into your arms again. So I ordered 4 cans of Tui's, set them on the trunk, had a long conversation with a hopeless drunk. And I only had 5 tickets and 6 new friends. So one of them had a hissy fit and drove off in her Mercedes-Benz. Words are falling, I don't know. They drift, they pass, they melt like snow. I know I may be a flake. I scrape my knees and make mistakes. I may lose, but mostly win. Sometimes I get drenched in sin, but I'll fall right back into your arms again. So we played 7-card stud, and I had a royal flush, and I took out your picture, and I started to blush, 'cause I only had 8 lives. Most cats got 9. So I skipped out on bungee jumping just this time, 'cause I only had 10 chances to say I love you. Words are falling, I don't know. They drift, they pass, they melt like snow. I know I may be a flake. I'll scrape my knees and make mistakes. I may lose, but mostly win. Sometimes I get soaked in sin, but I'll fall right back into your arms again. I collapse into your loving arms again. I'll fall right back into your arms again. So, somebody requested this song. This is track 5 on the new record. It ends side 1. And this is called The Son of God. And in this song, I had a dream I was talking to Jesus, the Son of God. And so I wrote down the dream and I turned it into a song. So when I'm talking, you'll know when I'm talking because I got this voice. But Jesus' voice will be a little higher, just so you can tell the difference when Jesus is talking and when I'm talking. Yeah. Man, I'm so glad I got to write this song because I always think songs are like gifts. Like that one I did right before the break about, we got some historical, like they just show up and I got to write them down. That was this one. Because when I was a kid, Funk and Wagnall's encyclopedia salesman came to our house selling Funk and Wagnall's encyclopedias. And it was 1966, and I was 6 years old. 6 years old in 1966. And this guy came to our door, and he knocked on the door. And I was in my little pajamas that were one piece with the feet that go in it, and you pull it all up. And I go, hello? And he goes, hello, little boy, are your parents home? And I go, no, would you like to come inside? And he goes, sure. And then he comes walking inside and he goes, we should lock the door. He locked the door. But this isn't going where you think it's going, so don't worry. It's like the OD song, the guy didn't die. And then he opens up a trunk and he pulls out Funk and Wagnall's encyclopedias and he starts showing me them. Because he knows if you can convince the kid can talk the parents into buying them. And he convinced me that I needed a set of Funk and Wagnall's A to Z encyclopedias. So I begged my mom for him. And then my uncle came out, Uncle Louie. And he was so sweet. He's the reason I play guitar, actually. He took me to the Hollywood Bowl to see Julian Bream play classical guitar. And man, Uncle Louie was there. And Uncle Louie, being a gay man, it was no place for him to live in Cape Breton, Nova Scotia, up where I was born in Halifax. My mom was from Cape Breton, my dad from Winnipeg. And so we had immigrated to the U.S. and Uncle Louie followed us because being a gay man, he could be free in Los Angeles. So the salesman was selling me these encyclopedias. And I had these Hot Wheels cars with a Hot Wheel track. Remember those? And I dropped mine under the table, and I looked under the table, and the salesman's leg and my uncle's leg were intertwined. And I remember I go, I should never ever tell anybody about this till 2026 when I play Ararat. The Son of God contacted me about buying some Funk and Wagnall's encyclopedias. I said, hello. Who's this? It's Jesus. Jesus who? Jesus H. Christ. God's Son. How'd you get my number? I have everyone's number. Even Jimmy Barnes? He's on speed dial. Rad. What up, G's? We have a storage unit in heaven that we're paying rent on, and we want to downsize. Who's we? Me and Dad. God. God pays rent for a storage unit in heaven? Yeah, man, we all do. It's a lease that never ends. You think you can't take it with you? Well, I'm here to tell you that, in fact, you have to. And it gets so pricey. What? We still have to pay for membership fees in heaven? Yeah, man. Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, Peacock. Even another Netflix account under an older email you forgot you were paying on. Well, what about hell? Everything's free in hell. Except for your soul. Ever since the devil went down to Georgia, things have gone sideways. Hang on, let me light my cigarette. Does your father know you smoke? And does God get a share of the profits? He gets a percentage of the storage unit fees and a small percentage of Netflix, but Bezos blocked him from Amazon profits. He said he wanted his bank account to be as big as Elon's, so Dad's going broke. Lumber prices, inflation, tariffs, the cost of a dozen eggs, etc. Well, I'm a child of God, so I guess I'll take your encyclopedias, but I don't really need them, man. All the answers are in our hands, in our phones. Dude, help me out. My dad is pressuring me to sell. I'll change your water into wine, give you a get into heaven free card and keep you out of hell. Okay, thanks. I love you, Jesus. That's what they all say. Except old Beelzebub. He just plays rock and roll down below with Chuck Berry. That sounds like fun. Does hell have Taco Tuesday? Only heaven. Every single day is Taco Tuesday. Well, where will Bob Dylan end up? Let me check. Looks like his score is tied. He's in his 80s. It depends on his next record. What? Hasn't Bob Dylan done enough? Man, I'd like to go where he goes. Not so fast, Poltzy. I know your history. Remember that time you played Ararat? You're gonna need a get into heaven free card. Okay, thanks. Then I guess I'll take all your encyclopedias. You scratch my back, and I'll scratch yours. Quid pro quo. Sorry, I don't speak Latin. The Catholics outlawed it in the 60s. Here's your card, you're all set. I'll see you maybe even sooner than you think. Oh shoot, spoiler alert. What? What do you mean I'll see you sooner than you think? Just forget I said that. I can't forget you said that. How am I going to get to sleep tonight? Can you get me a prescription for some Ambien? You can get that yourself. From the drug dealer in Ararat who's putting on the show. His name is David Nicholson at yahoo.com. Okay, thanks, I guess. I'm a-going to the promised land. I'm a-going to the promised land. I'm going to the promised land. Thank God for bribery, blackmail, the Son of God and the Lamb and Bob Dylan. If he gets into heaven, I'm a-going to the promised land. I'm going to the promised land. I'm going to the promised land. Amen. With what? What? Oh, that was beautiful. I just played in Adelaide, and I played at a church, and the priest who runs the church heard my Son of God song, and then he had a sign in the back. I call it backstage, but they call it the sacristy in the church. I call it backstage. And in it was a sign he left, and it said, "Welcome, Steve Poltz. God wants to talk with you." And then he came backstage. It was cool. That guy was so nice. Went to the best restaurant, too, in Adelaide. It's called Africola. Oh, my God, that place is good. Malcolm knew the guy, because Malcolm does work with Nick Cave, and with PJ Harvey, and also with Tom York from Radiohead. He was doing production work for them when they came through. And all those guys had, and Dave Grohl too, they all had this guy, Damon Wedgwood, I think is his name. Duncan Wedgwood. And they had him as their personal chef. Man, and this guy had us come in and fed us for 4 hours. It was amazing. Wouldn't even take any money from us. Same thing happened to me in Port Fairy. These people were sitting there and they said, "Sit down, just talk to us till you get your table." And we sat with them, and they were so nice. And then we didn't even leave the table, and they bought us dinner. Everywhere I go, people buy me food. It's like they think I'm starving. They feed me, and it's so nice of them. So that's what I'm wondering, what are you guys gonna buy me to eat? Anybody have a wood-fired pizza oven at their house? That'd be so cool. On my record, there's another song that I really like, and it starts side 2. And this is called Love a Little Bigger. And I wrote it with a friend of mine. You won't know the band. It's a band from Colorado, and they're called Leftover Salmon. They're really good, too. Like, if I said that in the States, people go, "Ah!" They never come to Australia, and they should. I always tell them, anybody who doesn't come to Australia, I tell them you're sorely missing out on things in your life. Seriously. I mean it. And this is my 23rd time coming here. I'm never going to not come here until I die, but then I'll still keep coming here and haunting you. One time I was here and I walked down the middle of the street at midnight in my underwear. Did you know that? Yeah. That was cool. That will be the ghost of me. You'll be like, "We saw Poltzy." So anyways, this guy Vince Herman, who's in Leftover Salmon, came over to my house and he goes, "What do you want to write about?" And I said to him, "I have a really cool words for a chorus." And he goes, "What is it? What is it?" And I said, "It's love a little bigger." He goes, "I like it. What words do you have?" And I said, "Love a little bigger, forgive a little quicker. Life's too short to be sick and then sicker. Take off your clothes, jump in the river, pack a nice lunch, and keep your arrow in your quiver." And he goes, "What key do you want it to be in?" And I said, "The people's key, G." And he said, "Cool." And I said, "But it can't be all upbeat. We have to have a couple murders in the song." And he goes, I like that. And I said, and I want the names to be kind of biblical. Jacob and Sarah. And he said, okay, cool. So check this out. Here's what I found on the web. Check it out. Jacob took a hammer and he went up a hill, built a nice house for his best friend Bill. Jacob took a shine to Bill's sweet wife. Bill sliced Jacob with a hunting knife. Well, you best be careful where your heartstrings go. Wind up dead with a missing toe. Lose your mind or you could lose your nose, or spend the rest of your life 6 feet in a hole. Love a little bigger, forgive a little quicker. Life's too short to be sick and then sicker. Take off your clothes, jump in the river, pack a nice lunch and keep your arrow in your quiver. Sarah bought a snake from a traveling salesman, a big old viper for her poisonous husband. Slipped it into bed once his eyes were closed. Where he ended up, nobody knows. The insurance detective comes sniffing around. Sarah took a minute, she sat him down. Confessed that her head was haunted at night. She went to jail for the rest of her life. Love a little bigger, forgive a little quicker. Life's too short to be sick and then sicker. Take off your clothes, jump in the river, pack a nice lunch, keep your arrow in your quiver. Well, they tell me that life depends on the liver. If you want to get right, skip the brown liquor. Lay yourself down beside the cool river. Think good thoughts and keep your arrow in your quiver. Love a little bigger, forgive a little quicker. Life's too short to be sick and then sicker. Take off your clothes, jump in the river, pack a nice lunch and keep your arrow in your quiver. I used to date this girl years ago when I was a younger guy, and it was the 80s, and she was a Jewish girl from Mexico City, and her name was Leah Singer. I probably shouldn't say her name, but I did. And she would take me to Mexico City, and there was a temple there, and she, being a Jewish girl, like a lot of Jewish people settled in Mexico City after World War II. And so there's this whole community, a whole diaspora of people that settled over there. And me being a Catholic boy, I would be next to her in bed. And she was an attorney for the cartel. And she said to me one morning, have you ever smelled what buried money smells like? And I got really scared and I go, no, why? And she goes, I'm an attorney for the drug cartel. And she goes, and I have some of the money, they just paid us $100,000. And she pulled out a stack of $100 bills that had been buried for a couple years and held it up to my nose. And I was like, check, please. I wonder what she's doing now. I'm gonna look her up on Facebook, see if I can find her. I think I found her about a month ago and I was too scared to say hi. Because I was like, I don't need to open up this can of worms, you know? Have you ever laid down next to someone and then realized you were with somebody that could have you killed? It's a weird feeling. I used to wake up next to Jewel. We were going out in the 90s, right? And she had just got a record deal. We wrote this hit song of hers called You Were Meant For Me, but the record hadn't sold many records yet. It only sold like 20,000 records. It ended up selling 15 million records. And Jewel grew up on a homestead in Homer, Alaska, and she would have to kill her own cattle, and they'd kill it for the winter and eat it, and she would carve it up and everything, and she was really good with a knife and would carry a knife in her boot. And one morning I woke up next to her, and I was naked under the covers, and she took out the knife, and she goes, "You want to know how I'd kill you?" And I go, "I guess so." And then, so she all of a sudden whips this knife out and starts taking it down the middle of my chest and going, "I'd split you open right here, and I'd pull out your heart, and then I'd pull your skin back, and I'd hang it up outside and make little boots and gloves out of your skin." And at that point, I said, "Check, please." But it was kind of cool if you think about it. It's kind of fun to be in bed next to someone and be scared for your life. Do you know what I mean? How many people here know what I'm talking about? No. But it was cool because we ended up writing this song, and it goes like this. I'll never forget the morning we wrote this. I was sitting at the edge of the bed, and you should always write songs naked with somebody else in the room. When we wrote that song last night, Malcolm, we weren't naked. But we were in a jacuzzi. I hear the clock and it's 6 a.m. I feel so far from where I've been. I got my eggs, I got my pancakes too. Got my maple syrup, everything but you. I break the yolks, make a smiley face. I kinda like it in my brand new place. I wipe the spots off of the mirror, don't leave the keys in the door. I never put wet towels on the floor anymore, 'cause dreams last for so long. Even after you're gone. And I know that you love me, and soon I know you will see. You were meant for me, and I was meant for you. Called my mom, but she was out for a walk. I consoled a cup of coffee, but it didn't want to talk. Picked up the paper, it was more bad news. More hearts being broken, more people being used. Put on my coat in the pouring rain. I saw a movie, but it wasn't the same. 'Cause it was happy, man, I was sad. It made me miss you, oh so bad, 'cause dreams last for so long. Even after you're gone. And I know that you love me, and soon I know you will see. You were meant for me, and I was meant for you. I go about my business, I'm doing fine. Besides, what would you say if I had you on the line? Same old story, not much to say. Hearts are broken every day. Those harmonics there, if you have a guitar at home, practice going like this. So that's in the song, and it was used in an episode of that television show called The Office with Steve Carell. And he gets kicked out of this wedding, and this band is playing You Were Meant for Me, this song. And as Steve Carell's sitting outside, he goes, boop, 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 boop. And I was like, had I never written that part, Steve Carell would have never done that. It made me feel pretty good. I mean, when you think about it, I influenced television for that quick And when we were making this recording, we were living at Neil Young's ranch, and his band, the Stray Gators, produced the record, and I got to play guitar on it. And when it came to this part, his pedal steel player goes, "What was that?" And I was really nervous, and I go, "I don't have to do it." He goes, "No, I really liked it. Do it again. Can you teach me how to do it?" And I went. So the other day, Malcolm was making me coffee in the morning while I was naked in bed. And he goes, "Can you show me how to do the ba-ba-ba-ba?" And I said, "Yeah, let me put some clothes on first." And I taught him this. And I want to pass it on to you guys now. So the coolest part about making this record was the fact that I got all this food to eat. Like I said, I love food. And Neil Young had his own personal chef. And every morning he would cook so much food. And Neil Young was freaking out that I was eating him out of house and home. I'm 6'1" and I weigh 150 pounds, soaking wet. And Neil Young was like, "Let's weigh Poltz before breakfast and then weigh him after breakfast. But we can't let him know what we're doing, so let's all of us weigh ourselves, and he'll just do it because he'll do whatever we say." And I would have too, because it was Neil Young, right? I was a young guy back then. So he goes, "Hey, we're gonna weigh each other before breakfast." And I go, "Okay." And I stood on the scale, and back then I was 2 pounds lighter, so I was 148. After breakfast, I was 153 and a half. And I'll never forget, Neil Young goes, "God damn, that was a 5.5 pounder." And that's why this song on the recording with Jewel singing it sounds so good. And it became a hit is because I was so full, I was laying back on the beat like this. I brush my teeth, I put the cap back on. I know you hate it when I leave the light on. I pick a book up and I turn the sheets down. I take a drink and a good look around. I put on my PJs and I hop into bed. I'm half alive, but I feel mostly dead. I tell myself it'll all be alright. I shouldn't think anymore tonight, 'cause dreams last for so long. Even after you're gone, I know that you love me, and soon I know you will see you were meant for me, and I was meant for you. You were meant for me, and I was meant for you. Yeah. Does anybody here remember when the UN General Secretary's name was Boutros Ghali? Yeah, I'm glad we're of the same age group. That's so cool. Because my dad used to make me pancakes in the morning, and he would go like this: "Hey, Stevie, baby, you know how I remember the name of the UN General Secretary?" And I'd go, "How, Dad?" And he'd go, Boutros Ghali, Boutros Ghali. And he'd run around the house doing that. So, in case you're wondering why I'm like this, it's because of him. Kookaburra sits in the old country, mighty, mighty king of the bushes he. Life, Kookaburra, gay your life. Gay your life must be. See, they were already programming us. I loved being raised by a gay uncle. It was awesome. because nobody else was raised like I was on a steady diet of Barbra Streisand and Liza Minnelli. And he always had a new boyfriend each Christmas. But his boyfriends weren't like the women I dated that were life-threatening. His boyfriends were really cool. And the crazy thing was I loved every one of his boyfriends, but then he'd have a new one the next Christmas. I'd be like, what happened to Jimmy James? I loved him. And Jimmy James recently contacted me on Facebook. And it was so cool. And he goes, I miss your uncle. My uncle died a couple years ago. And I miss my uncle so much, Uncle Louie. God, you guys would have loved him. He was such a smart ass. And he played beautiful classical piano. And he was the snottiest gay man in the world. You know, some gay men are really friendly and nice, and some are total snobs. My uncle was a snobby gay man, but in a good way. And he had one night left on his life, and I went to see him. He was in the hospice. And I go, Uncle Louie, what can I get you? I'll get you anything you want. And he always called me boy. And he goes, boy, get me a cheeseburger. And then I go, okay, I don't know where a place is that has cheeseburgers. And the nurse goes, there's a Burger King down the road. And my uncle goes, I don't eat Burger King. So I look up online, best cheeseburger, and I find a $40 cheeseburger that was like thick, and it had like every animal on the ark in it. And I go, how do you want it cooked? And he goes, rare. And I remember I brought him that cheeseburger, and I remember him eating, and his hands were shaking, and the blood was dripping out of the burger, and he enjoyed that burger so much. And I said, good night, Uncle Louie, I love you. And the next morning I had to leave to go on tour, and my mom called me, and she goes, Uncle Louie died this morning. And I go, I think I killed him. So glad I didn't. I mean, he wanted that raw burger. Man, you would have loved Uncle Louie so much. I miss him to this very day. I miss my mom and dad too. You would have loved my mom. She was a really cool, tough taskmaster of a mom. But she always taught me about songwriting, and she played piano and sang like an angel. And my dad wrote poems, and my sister taught me how to smoke weed in 7th grade. And I remember she took me to the swap meet, because we grew up in Palm Springs, California. And she took me to the swap meet, and there was this hippie dude selling water beds. It was 1972. I was 12 years old. And he had number 13 tattooed on his bicep. And he was wearing just a white tank top. And I go, what's the number 13 for? And he goes, it's the 13th letter of the alphabet. And I go, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M. M? He goes, stands for marijuana. And then he scratched his balls like that. And he goes, the best thing about these waterbeds, he was selling waterbeds, he goes, you get your old lady on the waterbed, let the waterbed do all the work. And I was like, what's he mean? These are the early memories. These are my formative memories. I'm not kidding you. That stuff really affected me. This is so much better than any other show I've played in Australia. Well, we first moved to the USA, all the way from Canada. And we drove across the continent, from Nova Scotia to Pasadena. My sister and me and my mom and dad, from the cold to the sunny south. There were palm trees growing and it was not snowing, and I never did shut my mouth. I have not done this song in over a year and a half. I can't believe I have not paid attention to this song. Well, we drove on over to the courthouse in downtown Los Angeles. We put our hands on a Bible and we swore as a family that we were not communist. When we drove away, I started to cry. They said, "What's wrong, son? Are you sick?" I said, "I don't want to be an American. I want to be a Catholic." We talked Hollywood, baseball in the car. Hey, the voice of Vin Scully, man, it would travel really far. Vin Scully was the voice of the Dodgers. This is what he sounded like when he called the baseball game. His voice was reedy and tenoresque. And there's an airy spiderweb shadow coming into right field at Chavez Ravine. Sandy Koufax walks out to the mound and he's up to his hips in alligators. 2-2 to Harvey Keene, a pitch on the way, a swing and a belt left field, he's out of there. Get your Dodger dogs. Dodger dog is a hot dog. This next verse talks about making my first communion in the Catholic Church. And when you do that, they tell you you're going to eat Jesus' body. And I remember for a week I was like, we're going to really eat a person? And my mom kept sitting me down. It's not, no, you're going to get a host. No, they said it's Jesus' body. And I freaked out because I was the last kid in line. So I thought they'd run out. And I wanted the dark meat, like I wanted the legs, so I didn't understand. Well, I made my first communion in St. Rita's Catholic Church. There was incense a-choking and a priest was smoking, was a choir up in the perch. My face got red and my stomach felt bad. They said, if you're gonna get sick, use a cup. Well, I thought by the time it was my turn for communion, Jesus would be all eaten up. Yeah, Hollywood, baseball in the car. Hey, the voice of Ernie Harwell, man, it would travel really far. Ernie Harwell was the voice of the Detroit Tigers. All these announcers I'm doing are dead now. Man, this guy was cool. There would be a foul ball and he'd always act like he knew who caught it in the stands, like all the punters. The ball would go out of play and he'd go like this. Here's the pitch on the way. It's a high fly ball into right field, caught by the man from Ararat. He'd always come up with the weirdest named towns, like he knew somebody was traveling somewhere. And every game he would look up different places on his Funkin' Wagnalls encyclopedias. My allergies are bad, so we moved to the desert to a city called Palm Springs. Trick-or-treated at Liberace's house. Each finger had a diamond ring. And we met Elvis Presley in the middle of the summer, and Elvis hugged my sister for far too long. I felt kind of weird, but I would have pimped her out just to hear him sing a song. It's so cool that I got to meet Elvis in 1969. That was a life-changing moment. He shook my hand and he just talked to us for a long time. And I was like, Elvis, have you ever played Australia? He goes, yeah, I've been there a couple times, kid. Just don't do Sydney and Melbourne. Can't ignore places like Ararat. And I remember I wrote it down, Ararat. All right, thanks, Elvis. We talked Hollywood and baseball in the car. Hey, the voice of Harry Carey, man, it would travel really far. That was really the announcer's name, Harry Carey. You guys, he was so cool. He was the announcer for the Chicago Cubs, but prior to that, as you know, he was the announcer for the St. Louis Cardinals. But guess what? He lost his job because he slept with Augie Bush's wife. Augie Bush owned Budweiser, and he owned the Cardinals in St. Louis. If you sleep with the owner's wife, you get exiled to Chicago. So Harry Carey got sent to Chicago where he announced the games for the Cubs. And he would get so drunk when he would announce the games, he could never pronounce any Hispanic player's name. So say they were playing the Cincinnati Reds. Who's your favorite Cincinnati Reds player from the 70s, you guys? That's right, Davy Concepcion. You know how he butchered his name?
Coming up on the top of the ninth inning for the Cincinnati Reds, Dino Consiglione's dying.
How do you get that out of Davy Concepcion? Hollywood and baseball in the car. The voice of Elvis Presley, man, it'll travel really, really far. Here I am, a growing up boy, at home on the 4th of July, staring out at the ocean and the fireworks in the sky. I miss my friends who aren't around, the ones who passed their way. I'm feeling kinda grateful here in Ararat today, and I'm not kidding you guys. Hollywood and baseball in the car. Hey, the voice of Elvis Presley, man, it'll always travel really far. I get allergies and asthma in the yard. No one ever told me growing up would be so hard. Oh man. It is, isn't it? Thanks, Nakas. Is that Nakas? Good on you, Mark Laxton. Yeah, good on you, Kaba. I love you. You taught me how to say Nakas, right? Nakas. What's it mean? Cool guy Joe? Nakas. I love it. That's a cool thing. I love you guys because you have different words for stuff. Thank you, Mark, for coming all this way. I don't know where you live, but I think it's far away. You know? Ballarat? How long's that drive?
1 hour.
Oh, I'm driving tomorrow to Melb's. I'm going to be on PBS Radio at 4 p.m. And I'm going to I get to spin some artists, some Australian artists that I'm into, and then they're going to play a couple of my songs, and then I'm playing tomorrow night in Brunswick, at Brunswick Ballroom. The next night I'm in St. Kilda at Mimo, and that's going to be cool. But I'm on the radio tomorrow, PBS Radio. I reckon it'll be streaming, and I'm going to play this band I'm really into right now called Kangaroos with Machine Guns. They're cool. I just met them in Nannup, West Australia, and they played a gig. Kangaroos with Machine Guns, and I'm going to play this girl I really like named AC Saunders. She's cool. She's a Melbourne girl, and she's on tour right now opening for Willie Watson. And then I'm going to play this other band called the Radium Dolls. They have this song called Tractor Parts. They're an Aussie band. Tractor parts are easy to come by in country towns. I'm so obsessed with them. You guys got good music over here. You really do. And your breakfast, kick our breakfast's ass. Your breakfasts are so much better than our breakfast. Nobody does a freaking poached egg right where I live in San Diego. It's always like too runny or too this or not cooked enough. Australia's got that shit down. They always give you a half of avocado with it and some beautiful tomato, and the bread's good here. And nobody eats Vegemite in the States, and why don't they? I love Vegemite on my toast. I love food, Nakas. I really do, buddy. And I love you, because you always send me cool messages on Facebook. And I want you to know I'm so glad you and the missus are here, and your health is still here, and many blessings to you, my friend. I wish you more long, prosperous life. And this is a song I wrote once a long time ago. And And this, I would have never written this if somebody hadn't written me on Facebook and said, hey, I think you should write a song and call it Fist Fight at a Vegan Brunch. I was like, dude, you just wrote the song. If you give me a title like that, you can't lose. I immediately wrote it down, Fist Fight at a Vegan Brunch? Shit. So right away, the way my mind works is, I'm like, okay, yeah, Tempe, Arizona. And Tempe is a vegan food too. Tempe, Arizona. I can make the song start with that. So it goes. Mark, see what I'm doing here? I'm going G to G sharp because I want to just portray tension. That there's going to be a fight, so check it out. That's what I'm thinking. That's why I did what I did. My mom always told me, who was there, what happened, and how did it make you feel? And you know what I'd say to my mom? You're the best. So here goes. I was driving through Tempe, hungry for some Tempe, looking for some vegan fare. When I found me some Satan, in the distance I heard Satan, music being cranked through the air. When along came a girl to brighten up my world, she started some trouble at the co-op. I'm a happy hippie, I'd rather just say yippee, but her boyfriend was as violent as a meat-eating cop. Fist fight at a vegan brunch, my nose was a-bleeding from a yoga punch. Would have been safer staying home for lunch than to eat a knuckle sandwich at the vegan. I want to tell you a quick secret. When I say it would have been safer staying home for lunch, I'm saying om, O-M, like meditating. Just so you know, I've never told the audience that. Would have been safer staying home for lunch than to eat a knuckle sandwich at the vegan brunch. She put tofurkey in her pita, said her name was Rita. She was flirting by the carrot ginger pie. I grabbed some Asian fusion salad, sang her a sweet loving ballad, and her boyfriend rammed his nose ring in my eye. I said, wait a minute, brother, I ain't looking for no other, but you spilled tahini on my hemp craft beer. The punches started flying, in soy yogurt I was lying, when he kicked me with his sharp shoes in my ear. Fist fight at a vegan brunch, nose was bleeding from a yoga punch. Would have been safer staying home for lunch than to eat it. It means so much more that only you guys know. Eat a no, but those dickheads don't deserve to know that. Eat a knuckle sandwich at the vegan brunch. Somebody just recorded me saying, Melbourne, those dickheads don't deserve it, and that's going to be online tomorrow, and I'll be canceled. Now, at this point of the song, when I was writing, I said, does it need a bridge? Does this song need a bridge? I was like, yeah, I got the perfect bridge. Om mani padme om, 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 om mani padme om. So if you guys do that, so it's O-M, the next word is padme, P-A-D-M-E, and then O-M. It's a cool meditation. Tonight when you're at home and you're next to the one you love, or you're all alone, just go, Om, Om Mani Padme Om, Om Mani Padme Om, Om Mani Padme Om. Do that with me. Om Mani Padme Om, Om Mani Padme Om, Om Mani Padme Om. Just you guys this time. Yes. Yes, yes. Twice. One of you forgot to say the Om the second time, and it goes around. I warned you about it. I don't want to have to do it again. Do it right. Om Mani Padme Om. Om Mani Padme Om. Yes. You're scared, aren't you? Your sphincters are tightened. Try it again. Om mani padme om mani padme om mani padme. Just you guys now. Louder. Dudes, that was so good. Melbourne can't do that. That was so good. Holy shit. This little kid at the Port Perry Folk Festival, he told me it was his favorite song. I go, why? And he goes, I like it when you say, oh, mommy, take me home. Mommy, take me home. Oh, mommy, take me home. Mommy. All of a sudden, that kid sounded like Axl Rose. Mommy, take me home. Take me down to the paradise city where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Oh, mommy, money, padme, oh. Axl Rose was into it. Take me down to the paradise city where the grass is green and the girls are city. Oh, money, padme, oh, take me home, mama. Sorry, I got sidetracked there with Axl. I went to a meditation just to get some inspiration after I got stitches in my head. I chanted words of peace and love. The birds were chirping high above. I started to release all of my dread. A pretty lady said to me, may I share your herbal tea? Our hearts can join as one in jubilation. Oh no, my lady, can't you see? I think I have PTSD. I don't need a fight to break out at a Buddhist meditation. Fist fight at a vegan brunch. Nose was a bleeding from a yoga punch. Would have been safer staying home for lunch than to eat a knuckle sandwich at the vegan brunch. Next time I'll stay at home and just eat grapes for a lunch. Yeah, I'm glad you requested that. That hasn't been done all tour either. Man, I love that song. I have to sit every few songs because I just got my knee operated on before I came here. And the surgeon said, you can't go do that Australian tour. You've got to rest your knee. I had this torn meniscus and it hasn't had enough time to heal. And so he goes, if you promise you'll sit the whole show. And people have been sending messages on Instagram and he follows me on Instagram, this dickhead surgeon, I need to block him. And I'm like this. And he keeps sending me direct messages on my Instagram inbox that say WTF with 5 question marks and a crying face. And I just send him back this emoji. If I had one emoji to describe myself perfectly, it's this. But yeah, so I am trying to sit down. So if you post pictures on Instagram, post the ones like this, just because I like it when he writes, he goes, like he's so mad at me right now. But I went in to get this knee operated on, this one here, because my ego was writing checks my body couldn't cash. And there was this really nice older couple in British Columbia, outside of Vancouver on Salt Spring Island. And I was playing a show on Salt Spring Island. And this couple, they were like 88 years old, and they had these 70-pound suitcases, really heavy. And so they said, we can't get these up the ramp, young man. And I was like, me? And I go, I'll help you. And I ran them up and I was showing off. And I go, I'm like a mountain goat. And then I woke up next to my wife the next morning. I got up to go pee and I was like, oh. She's like, what's wrong with you? I don't know. And my knee was so messed up. And then I went to this festival I was playing. This guy walks backstage. He goes, is your knee hurting? I've noticed you're walking weird. And I go, yeah. And he goes, I go, are you a doctor? And he goes, kind of. And he pulls a needle out. He goes, you want a shot in your knee? And I go, well, are you a doctor or aren't you? And he goes, I told you, kind of. And I go, I guess so. Will it help me? He goes, yeah. So he sticks this needle deep in my leg, numbs it up first. And then I was so fine for like 4 weeks. And I forgot I had a torn meniscus. And then I started limping, and it was even worse after that. And then I finally go in to see this doctor, and he's like, oh man, did an MRI. And he goes, you need to go get this thing operated on tomorrow. You're really messed up. The meniscus is just trashed. He showed me on the MRI, and he goes, you got all kinds of bone chunks in there that need to be scraped out. And I go, all right. He goes, can you come in tomorrow? I go, no, I got tour dates. And he goes, well, when are you going to be free? I go, I guess I could cancel Ararat in Melbourne. He goes, cancel those places. And I go, I can't cancel Ararat. He goes, then promise me you'll sit. And I go, fine. By the way, everybody knows what Ararat is now. Nobody knew, like in the States. Like they all go, you going to Sydney? No, I'm going to Ararat. Just because I like saying it. And then the doctor's like, want a shot in your knee? And I go, all right. And so I go to this festival, and my knee was feeling pretty good. And then this guy comes up to me and goes, you want some Molly? And Molly is this drug, it's like ecstasy. And I go, no. And he goes, I go, no. I go, listen. And he was coughing really bad. I go, do you have COVID? And he goes, no, I didn't get the vaccine. I don't know where that shit came from. And I go, well, where'd you buy that Molly from? He goes, a dude in the parking lot. And I was like, so I didn't do his Molly. And then I continued on my way, and then I had to go get the shot. I had to get my knee operated on. And then I went to get my knee operated on at Scripps Clinic in San Diego. I recently relocated back to San Diego from Nashville, where I've been living for the last 10 years. So I'm in San Diego at the best place, Scripps Clinic. And I go in there, and the dude comes in, that's called the anesthesiologist, and he knows who I am. That was crazy. And he comes in, he's got his scrubs on and his little hat, the scrub hat, and the hat had all Grateful Dead stuff on it, all on it. He's like a total hippie. And he goes, hey man, I'm a big fan of your music. And I go, thanks. And he goes, how much do you weigh and how tall are you? I go, I'm 6'1". He goes, because I'm going to give you propofol. And I go, the Michael Jackson drug? He goes, yeah, that's what we knock you out with, and we operate on your knee, arthroscopic surgery and everything. He goes, I'll give you propofol. He goes, but how tall are you? I go, 6'1". He goes, how much do you weigh? I go, well, when I was at Neil Young's, I went up to 155, I think, but I'm 150 normally. I weigh 150 pounds. He goes, I'm going to give you an amount for like only an 80-pounder, and then I'll knock you out when you get the surgery just so you can enjoy the high of propofol. And I go, you can do that? He goes, no, but don't tell anyone. He goes, you can tell the people in Ararat, but not anybody else. So he gives me enough for an 80-pound person. I was so high on that propofol. That's like the best high in the world. No wonder Michael Jackson liked it. And then he knocks me out. Then I wake up. I'm in the post-op surgery area, and this girl comes in. She's got pink hair and tattoos all down her arms. And I looked at her, and I go, hi. And she goes, hi. I go, are you the merch girl? And she just looked at me confused. And then my wife Sharon picked me up. Sharon picks me up, and I go, hey, Shazza. I don't even know where that came from. And she goes, what? Shazza. She goes, how's your knee? And I go, thing's fucking fact. So then she goes to me, man, the next morning she goes to me, you really scared me. I've only known you since you got out of rehab. Winning. And so she goes, that's all I've known you. I've only known you sober. I've never seen you on drugs, and it's scary. And then I go, what'd I say? You know how you get really scared? Did I say something to incriminate myself? She goes, you said to me, honey, from now on, every quarter schedule me for a colonoscopy. I need more propofol. She goes, I've never been so scared in my life. But look at me. Look at this. Not good, right? I like tempting fate. Wow. Okay, so on the new record, there's a song, and I have this friend, and this friend has tattoos everywhere on his body, everywhere. Except he had one spot free here. And he fell in love with this girl, and he goes, I'm gonna get a tattoo of her face on my face, right here. And then I'm originally from Canada, and we don't like to upset people. So I said, I don't think that's a good idea. Like in a really nice way, because I didn't want to be confrontational. And he goes, what do you mean? And I go, dude, you never last with a girl more than 3 months. You're going to get that tattoo and you're going to have to look at her the rest of your life. He goes, no, this is it. I love her. Sure enough, 3 months later, they broke up. And I was like, there's got to be a song on this. Rewrote the song I wrote about you. Those words of love no longer ring true. Was a sweet melody about a love of you and me. So I had to rewrite the song I wrote about you. I put duct tape on the tattoo of you on my face, so I don't have to see you every time I shave. Gonna save up some money and I'll cover you up, honey. But for now, hey, it's new tape every day. You not only broke my heart, this song will never make the charts. It's that same old hurt we've all heard before. No one wants to pity me for the image that once covered me. Yeah, no one wants to see that anymore. So I rewrote the song I wrote about you. Could have been a big hit, now my chance is through. 'Cause now it's nothing more than the sad old lonesome blues. So I had to rewrite the song I wrote about you. And tomorrow I'm going down new tattoo, singing the rewrite I wrote about you. Before I go, I just want to say to you, if you are listening to PBS Radio tomorrow, I'm going to play a song by this band called Kangaroos with Machine Guns. They're my new favorite Aussie band, and they're so cool. And I'm going to play Kangaroos Ate the Roses. Oh my God, this is so good. Kangaroo.
Roll of water ran. The river hasn't been this low for 60-odd years. The kangaroos ate the roses at the Wilcannia Hospital.
That's what it's called. The Kangaroos Ate the Roses at the Wilcannia Hospital. I'm going to play that tomorrow. And you guys, I hope you tune in. I'm going to be going nuts talking about this song. I'm in love with your country, and I don't care who knows it. I will play every gosh darn country town until the day I die. I'm never even going back to America. I'm staying here. Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi. I'm gonna buy Greenland. No, I just want to say I love you guys. I'm gonna do these next 3 songs, and then we'll call it a night. Free hugs. We could pose for a picture together if you want. Whatever you need. I'll paint your toenails. I'll put lotion on your feet. Here goes. Wow, there's so many songs about rainbows. What's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, but only illusions. And rainbows got nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection. The lovers, the dreamers, and me. Who said that every wish would be heard and answered when wished on a falling star? Somebody thought of it, and someone believed it. Look what it's done so far. What's so amazing that keeps us stargazing? What do we think we might see? Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection. The lovers, the dreamers, and me. All of us under its spell. We know that it's probably magic. And have you been half asleep? And have you heard voices? I've heard them calling my name. Is it the same song that calls the young sailors? I think that they're one and the same. I've heard it too many times to ignore it. Is it something that I'm supposed to be? Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection. The lovers, the dreamers, and me. And me. I want all my friends to be happy. I want all my friends to find love. I want all my friends to share good things and be blessed by the light from above. I I want all my friends to be hopeful, not to be slaves to a bank. I hope that my friends never have to roll through the streets in a tank. I want all my friends to have kitchens stocked up with bountiful food. I hope they wake with a smile, 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 and say words like totes, adorbs, awesome dude. I want all my friends to know laughter, uncontrollable from deep in the gut. I want all my friends to have fine shoes and to pat someone cute on the butt. I want all my friends to go travel and to see the world for just what it is. A beautiful place to inhabit. It's a big melting pot made of bliss. I want all my friends to dance naked so that all of their neighbors can see.
And put this up so we can see He and his lovely partner. They fed me. He has a trailer with her and they have barbecue. And I went and started talking to him. He didn't even charge me for the food. Oh, thank you, man.
Okay, this is your part. I want all my friends to be healthy, and when they see kale, not just to scoff. I want them to live long and prosper, and to tell cancer to just go fuck off. That's your part. Try that. Yeah, to tell cancer to just go. When you guys say it, it's so much cuter than when we say it, or in my country. Because you guys are like, fuck off. It's not even like it's cussing. Yeah, to tell cancer to just go. One more time, a little bit louder. Let's scare all the people in Ararat. that aren't here. Yeah, to tell cancer to just go. Nice. This time just whisper it. Like you're in a Catholic school library. Let's try that. Yeah, to tell cancer to just go. So good. Just think it. Oh, it's good. I want all my friends to know one thing. That one day when I'm long dead and gone, I want them to know that I love them. And that's why I wrote this song. Okay, this is your part. Ba-dee-dee-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-dee-dee-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-dee-dee-da, meow, 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 meow. Ba-dee-dee-da-da. Ahooga! Okay, this is a good one to do. Ba-dee-dee-da-da-da-da.
I told you to take your levers off of the clothesline because they're going to fade and they're brand new 501s. What? I ordered an Arnold Palmer 30 minutes ago. Ooh, that's the strangest thing I ever saw.
Zinga, zinga, zinga. Okay. Come on! I want all my friends to be happy. You're late. Hey, I'll end on this song, and then if you want to say hi, especially my friends that gave me free food at Port Ferry, the McLeods. I gotta get a hug from you guys. Dude, I'm so glad I met you two. You are the sweetest couple, and that was really nice of you to feed me. I really love being fed. No, I love food, and I'm an opportunivore. I eat everything. I do. You're having vegan, I'll have vegan. You're having barbecue, I'll have barbecue. Doesn't matter. I like it all. So anyways, I can't thank you enough. I want to thank David Nicholson, gentleman and a scholar, putting on these shows. I've overstayed my welcome. I was supposed to be done at 10 p.m. I played 47 minutes extra. And thank you to you two girls for driving all the way out here from Melbs. That's Kersha Wong, right? Kersha Wong? Yeah, she's from Singapore, and one time she flew me all the way to Singapore to play a show for her friends in Singapore. It was so cool. And now here she is here. That's her other friend, Tams, wearing their Nirvana shirt. And they're gonna come to both my shows next week. They're gonna see me at Brunswick Ballroom tomorrow, and then in Mimo, St. Kilda. Which incidentally is where I had brekkie with Paul Kelly, right by there, which was cool. So anyways, thank you for that. They got married early, and they never had no money. And then when he got laid off, they really hit the skids. He started up his drinking, and then they started fighting. She took it pretty badly, and she took both the kids. She said, I'm not standing by to watch you slowly die, so watch me walking at your door, at your door, out your door. She said, shove it, Jack, I'm walking out your fucking door. She went to her brother's. She got a little bar work. And he went to the buttery, where he stayed about a year. And then he wrote a letter, and he said, I want to see you. She thought he sounded better, and she sent him up the ferry. He was riding through the cane in the pouring rain on Olympics to her door, to her door, to her door. This is one of the first songs I heard when I first came over here with Jewel back in 1999. 99. Promoter got me this Paul Kelly tape. I had it on cassette on a Sony Walkman. I just kept listening to it. Then at every show in Australia, I'd say, hey, if you guys know Paul Kelly, tell him I want to have brekkie with him. And then the phone never rang. And I just kept asking. It was like the Make-A-Wish Foundation. I kept trying to make it happen. Phone wouldn't ring. Then I got a gig opening for Jimmy Barnes in Newey, mate. Newcastle. Barnes took the whole backstage room with his band, and he saw me outside just waiting. I didn't even have any food. I didn't have a backstage room because I was just the support act. And he goes, let's invite that skinny fucker in here. So Barnesy goes, Poltz, sit down. Have anything you want. He had this beautiful charcuterie board. I hoovered that thing up. I was like an anteater, just sucking it all up my nose. And they gave me more food, and his wife was so sweet. And Barnesy then he put his arm around me, we took a picture together. I was like, Barnesy rocks. I didn't know what to say to him, so I go, are you gonna sing K-Song? He gave me a hug, I said goodbye to him. And I just kept touring around Australia and everywhere I went. If you know Paul Kelly, please tell him I want to have brekkie with him. Finally, the word got to his manager, and his manager called the tour manager, Milan, who was TMing me. And he goes, what the fuck is up with this guy? We're getting so many messages. If he stops saying it, I'll send Paul Kelly to have breakfast with him. Paul Kelly was like, you know, meet him at this cafe in St. Kilda. So I met him there 10 a.m. So I got there 15 minutes early, but Paul Kelly was there 25 minutes early. When I got there, he stood up. And I've been in love with him for years, and his face to me is so beautiful. His nose looks like it's been broken a few times. His teeth are kind of fucked up. Like in a perfect way. What the Japanese call wabi-sabi, where things are a little out of whack, like a chipped mug, and it looks more beautiful. You know how we get older? And like me, you know, like I go to hotels, and I never get to see my ass, because you don't see your ass, because you don't have eyes in the back of your head. But sometimes at these hotels, that door on the bathroom has a full-length mirror on it, and you're taking a piss at 3 in the morning, and you got your iPhone light, and then all of a sudden, you can see your own ass in the reflection at 3 a.m. And I'm like, ah! There's a perverted old man looking at me pee with a saggy ass. Let me just say, my ass is wabi-sabi. How was the Poltz show last night? His ass is wabi-sabi. So sure enough, man, Paul Kelly and me sit there, we're talking, we're having the best brekkie. It's amazing. I said, hey, dude, I'm going to Adelaide tomorrow. I have the night off, and I'm going to see the Adelaide Crows play. And he's like, I'm from Adelaide. And he goes, when you go to that footy game, don't forget, after he kicks the ball through the Gold Coast goalpost scream, "How big is your cock?" And the guy will go. And then he goes, then scream, "Bullshit." I was like, "I'll do that, Paul." And I did it. These old men next to me started laughing so hard. They're like, "How did you know that?" And I go, "Paul Kelly taught me." "You know Paul Kelly?" I go, "Yeah. Bob Dylan is America's Paul Kelly." They liked that. So I just sat there talking to Paul Kelly. He told me that. I was laughing. Anyways, then the waitress comes up to bring the bill. I was like, "Oh man, I'm definitely buying him breakfast." And I go to grab the bill, and Paul Kelly, with his crooked teeth and his broken nose, grabs my hand and he goes, "It's my town. It's my shout." I was like, "All right." And as I stand up here tonight looking at all you guys, I think about the dude and his cool gal who bought me food the other night at Port Ferry. I think about Neil Young feeding me. I think about Jewel talking about splitting my body open and eating my heart and using my skin for booties. I think about the cartel lawyer. I'm so scared when I see cartel people. And I'm most of all scared of the promoter tonight, David Nicholson. That guy rules this town with an iron fist. I went tonight to get food at the Noodle House. And they go to ring me up for the food, and I go, the guy goes, what are you doing tonight? And it was so cool because he was a cool Asian guy, and he's there, and it lived up to all my requirements when I go into an Asian restaurant. He's got to have a little kid who's studying right there. He's got all his schoolwork out while the parents are cooking the food, and that kid is not misbehaving. No, he's fucking studying. It fit everything I needed. And then the guy looks at me and he goes, "What are you doing in town?" And I go, "Oh, I'm playing a show." And he goes, "For David Nicholson?" And he looked really scared. And he goes, "Take it. Take the food." Fuck yeah. You're coming on a Sunday, every muscle aching. Walking in slow motion, like he'd just been hit. Would they have a future? And would he know his children? Could he make a picture? Get it all to fit. He was shaking in his seat, riding through the streets in a silver top to her door, to her door. Riding through the cane in the pouring rain on Olympics to her door, to her door, to her door, to her door. Thank you so much, everybody. God bless. Thanks again. I'll see you over there. Peace be with you.
The ancient Greeks are playing cards down in the high street night cafe. A cloud of music from the Thornbury Theatre carries me away. Where the long beard hipsters hang, happy as hippies sipping chai. I'm floating on the feeling of this place. I'm high on high.